Hi, welcome back to Open Hand Farm. If you're new here, we are so glad to have you. My name is Penny, and today I just have so many things I want to share with you. It has been a busy week. Unfortunately, the thing I'm not going to share with you is that I got my garden planted. You guys, we had 32-degree weather for like 2 or 3 nights, and it's only in the 40s at night right now. So I'm going to try to get out there tomorrow and get some things planted, things that I know will be okay in the cooler weather. I do have my front yard boxes already planted, but we've been working on new garden beds, and I'm finally able to go ahead and plant in them, and I am so excited. One of the things I did last week, which if you watch my videos, you'll know that I went ahead and broke the slips off of the sweet potatoes so that I could sprout them. So I want to show you how they're doing. Let me see if I can pull a couple out here. So I might have to kind of help you see these. They're definitely sprouting. They've got little shoots coming off. I'm so excited. This should be a very quick process. I have about 2 weeks before I actually will put them in the ground. I just wanted to share that the sprouting is working. Even on the little jar of the little slips, they are starting to get sprouts too. So things are going as they should. That's very exciting. In case you didn't watch my other video, these are purple sweet potatoes. Now I also cut one of the potatoes, actually I cut both of the potatoes in half that had the slips growing on them. And one of them had another little shoot, like about this big, growing off of it. So I went ahead and put it in a jar, and I want to show you that it's making great progress too. Now I'm going to show you a couple other things that I've been up to. Okay, we're down in our basement, which is also my planting area. And it also leads out onto our greenhouse. So I'm going to show you the plants that I have that are ready to be planted. The greenhouse is behind this big barn door. Now don't make fun of my greenhouse. It's a disaster. It's falling apart, and we are in the process of building a new one. But life got busy making new garden beds and trying to get all that ready. So that's been put on the back burner until we get the garden all planted. So you will see I have my onions still. They are doing beautifully though, except for the ones that were done in the egg crate. There's a few doing okay, but they're not great. We have some different flowers, some cabbages, parsleys, Chinese cabbages, more cabbages down here. We have squash, just different assorted little plants, flowers and things over there. Down here we have more squash, the sweet potatoes that I'm trying to finish off growing here and here so that I can get those planted. I don't know how well these will do. I just stuck these in the dirt. We'll see what happens. More squash, sunflowers. Wow, they have grown so big in one day. You guys, they weren't like this morning. Oh my gosh. These are poppies. This is exciting. I talked about these in my last video also. This is borage, And I showed you just, let me see, today's Monday, 2 days ago, I planted little sprouted borage seeds, and now look at them. They're coming up. I'm so excited. I love borage and I haven't ever been able to grow it. So this year I'm going to have some. Inside behind this curtain is where I start my seeds. And I have some things started, but the important thing is I have transplanted all of my peppers and I'm really excited. They're doing very well. I have some agastache flowers here, some parsley, and then more flowers back here. Some zinnias and different colors of sunflowers. Now, I want to show you something. First of all, I put my pots in whatever I can find to put them in. I did buy some of these trays for this year, but I've got them all full already. I always underestimate how many seedlings I will have to pot up before I get them planted. So I also have used some of these foil pans. These were used last year. So I will be using those. When we go to Costco, I always say, Mark, find a good box that'll hold my seedlings. So that's what we do. These pots are a very thin plastic pot, and I started buying them last year and I really like them. They're washable, I can reuse them, and I have reused them, but I also ordered more. Although the problem with these pots is they come like they have been compressed together to stay together forever. You can kind of twist them and loosen up a section. The first stack that we pulled apart this year, my husband and my daughter and I all sat, and we had a stack about this big, and we broke all of our fingernails sitting and trying to get these apart. They're terrible. This year, I figured out the trick. I decided this year that I would go ahead and separate them all before I started potting things up, because it was just too much trouble to stop between each one and pot it up. What I learned is, instead of going from the top, which you cannot just pull them out, you want to go from the bottom. And if you grab that little bottom lip, they come apart pretty easily. So don't pull from the top, pull from the bottom. Now, if you get tired of ruining your fingernails, you can take tweezers and put them in here and just pull and get one out. I sat with my tweezers last night and I was able to do about 2 stacks in 15 minutes. So that was lovely. So what I do then is, after I take them apart, I restack them. But they don't stick together like that anymore. They're not compressed together, so they come apart easily when I'm ready to use them. I was hoping to get more things up potted yesterday, but we had a birthday party here for Genesee. She had her 4th birthday while our family was on vacation, so her party got put off. So yesterday she had a birthday party, and the theme was the Disney movie Encanto. So she had a great time, and it was held in our attic here at the farm, and I think everybody just really enjoyed themselves. Saturday morning, Mark and I went to the zoo, and we waited in line to pick up zoo manoo. If you haven't heard me talk about that, it is mostly elephant manure, which means it has some gravel in it. This load, though, I didn't see much gravel, but apparently elephants need to chew on gravel along with their food in order to process it through their body. So the manure does have gravel in it. It's just what they have to do. So we went ahead and we got 2 skid buckets full, and it was $35. If you're members of the zoo, it's only $30. So it's really a good price for an excellent manure. It works great. Let me show you how the gardens look now. We got our rows all laid out and manure laid down on them. I have my strings up, so I'm ready to plant plants, hopefully in a straight line. That doesn't always happen. One of the biggest problems I have is I will pot up some plants and put them in a row, and then I put one tag in front of that row. So I know that whole row is like a certain kind of tomato or whatever. So like this row is Paul Robeson, this row is pineapple, this row is Amish paste. Then I set them outside in order to harden them off, and it always happens. Because they're in cardboard trays or whatever, it rains. Then I go to pick up the tray and all the cups kind of tip sideways and around or off the tray, and I have no idea what they are. So this year I played it smart. I bought a box of 1,000 plant labels so that I can label every plant that I pot up. It has been wonderful because I don't have to worry about that. It'll be great because each pot has its own label. I've also been guilty of having friends come over to pick up some of my leftover plants, and I'll be like, well, that might be this kind of tomato, or that might not be a jalapeno, but I can't promise you that. They're not always happy with what they end up with. So this time, if I have extras, I will know exactly what I'm giving them. I will be ending this week with a final goodbye to my father, as we have a memorial service for him scheduled on Friday at the VA cemetery in Higginsville, Missouri. And it's been a long week. Every time I go out in the garden, all I can do is picture him sitting there watching me and talking to me like he used to, watching the chickens, asking me how I knew what to do, what I do. Of course, I tell him from watching YouTube. So hopefully I've been giving you valuable information so that you have that answer also. I want to thank all of you who have been kind and compassionate during this time of the loss of my father. We actually lost him in October, but because of situations with the funeral home and different things, back ordered of the urn that we wanted, things like that. I have a sister that lives in Las Vegas, and she needed to get home for a period of time, and it just didn't work out to have his service earlier. So we are going to have it this weekend. So I just wanted to fill you in on parts of my life because I love sharing with you, and I love it when you share with me. I love hearing about your gardens. I love hearing about your children. I love hearing about your special recipes and all the things that I read in my comment sections. Thank you all so much for being a part of my family and following along with us and encouraging us and always being there. We love you all dearly. So until next time, blessings on you and yours.